Accuracy is one of the top priorities an electrical engineer needs to account for when designing schematics, especially when it comes to component specifications. Components, such as this connector, actually have multiple parts associated to it, each of which has its own part number. With SOLIDWORKS Electrical 2017, we can now take those parts and combine them to make what we like to call a super part. Let's take a look at SOLIDWORKS Electrical 2017 to see how this is accomplished. So the first thing we'll do is show the traditional way we would want to add manufacturer part information to a line diagram symbol. Once the symbol is placed, we can now choose each piece of the connector from our library and associate it to the selected symbol. Depending on how many individual parts you are required to add, such as the connector housing, a back shell, strain relief, crimp tube, dust cap, and let's not forget all the pins, this can take a minute or so of searching your library for all the correct parts. Now that we've completed the traditional method, let's go ahead and create a super part. We're simply going to create a new part that is labeled a super part and quickly add the appropriate parts to it. This method is almost identical to the traditional method of adding parts to a specific symbol. We will add a specific description, add a base, auxiliary, and accessory components to make up our newly defined super part. Now, when we are ready to add a new symbol to our sheet, we only need to select our newly created super part, which can save us a significant amount of time. Another nice touch is the multiple symbols can be associated to that one specific super part. That means that if at any time the super part changes, all of the associated symbols in your project will also change. And finally, when we generate our reports, we can see that our bill of materials shows all of the individual parts that make up the super part, which helps us as users become even more accurate. By having the ability to create these super parts, we can simply associate one part to our symbol instead of adding 2, 3, or sometimes 5 different parts to one symbol. This helps us streamline our design process as well as allows us to concentrate on the design rather than basic data entry. So check out solidworks.com or contact your local reseller to learn more about SOLIDWORKS Electrical.